With over 20 years in the industry, I've seen a lot of product. Nanofill from Berkley is one of the most revolutionary fishing lines ever introduced. Nano means small, minuscule, microscopic. And Fill emphasizes the hundreds of stronger than steel Dyneema nanofilaments that, after molecular linking and shaping, create the world's first unifilament fishing line. Berkley Nanofill Unifilament. It's the next generation in fishing lines.
Hey, this is Monroe out here on the California Delta. I mean, all week long has been phenomenal. We've been catching fish on a little bit of everything. You know, we catching them on just fat frog and catching them on the Biggie Series crankbait. But most of the fish that we've been catching this week have been coming punching. Punching is a technique that definitely catches really, really big fish. You know, but you got to have the right gear. You got to have the right bait. You got to know exactly what you're looking for. You know, this is punching 101, and I go out and first thing having the right setup. The rod and reel that I use is the Daiwa Steez rod, 8-foot Steez flipping stick that I helped design, along with the 7.3-to-1 Zillion Type R reel. Reason I like the Type R reel, 7.3-to-1, super high speed, allows me to wind that slack up. When I make that pitch into a hyacinth, when I pull it out of the hyacinth, I get to reel that bait up without making splashes or hitting the hyacinth. You know, you don't want to disturb the mat too much. You know, you're already disturbing it when you make that punch in there, but you don't want to disturb it coming out either. So the high-speed reel definitely helps with that. 7.3-to-1 is about the max on the gear ratio that I would use, just because the level of torque that you have with it, you can still horse those really big fish out. 65-pound Maxima braid. I've switched to Maxima braid because it's super duper strong. I have not broke it yet. I've been fishing with it for a whole year. So 65-pound Maxima braid. Then having, you know, the right bait. The right bait, pretty much the same as it's always been. Paycheck baits, punch stop, River to Sea trash bomb weight, 1.5 ounce. You can actually see the teeth marks in it from this week. Missile baits, D-bomb, candy grass is the color. And what I have is it's called the New Jack flipping hook. It's a flipping hook designed by me for River to Sea. It actually has a double eye on it. The eye can serve as two purposes. One, it serves as a keeper for the bait, or for you guys who don't know how to tie a snail knot, you can actually tie directly to that any knot you want except for a Palomar, and then you can still get the same cavitation out of the hook when you set the hook. You know, rod, reel, line, bait, weight are all key to, you know, punching when you're out there. When you're punching, you want to make sure that you have some hyacinth, or you have a hydrilla that has some water underneath it. I prefer at least a foot. You know, when I say water, at least a foot is good. You know, if you can see the bottom on it, but it still goes down a foot, most likely there's a fish there. It's covered, there's bluegill swimming around, great place. If there's grass all around that spot and then there's a patch of hyacinth in the middle of that grass, go flip that. What that's going to do is it's going to create a canopy over the top of their head, but one thing that the hyacinth does is it kills the grass underneath it, so it's a hole for them. Makes for a great ambush point, so these fish can go out there, ambush the bluegill. I mean, them the big ones really, really like to do it. And when you go out there and you try this punching technique, these are the kind of fish that you catch. Okay, let me grab it. That's what you catch when you go out there and you punch.
And if you don't know, now you know. Yeah.
Second to you again, bud. Tell you what, next tournament, I won't use my hydro wave.
I don't believe you, so you know what, bud? I'm taking it with me.
Go ahead.
Thanks, bud. You know what, Kevin? You know, he actually may be pulling for me.
He's nuts if he thinks I'm giving up my hydro wave. What a squirrel.